Mr. White, your 6 o'clock is here. It's John yesterday.
Thank you, Lori. My compliments to your stylist. Great suit.
I picked it out, Mr. White.
Ah, then my compliments to Human Resources for hiring you.
You hired me yourself, Mr. White.
Oh, I see. Tell him to come right in, please.
Mr. White will see you now, Mr. Yesterday.
Thank you.
Come over here, John. Have a look at this sunset. My advice to you is, if in your next life you come back as a filthy rich businessman, remember to get an office with a view like this. It's the only part that's really worth it in the end.
I can't even remember what I've done in this life, Mr. White.
Henry. Call me Henry. You used to call me that. How is your mother doing?
She has a slight cold. She seems like a good person. She's been telling me a lot about my life, but I can't seem to remember anything about it. Not a thing.
Give her my best. And let me pick your brains for a moment. What has she told you? You never used to talk about yourself in the old days. What has your mother told you about your childhood?
All there is to tell. Only child, shy, few friends, obedient, athletic. I just wish I could remember.
What do you know about your youth?
I threw myself into my schoolwork. Apparently I'm smart. I have a master's in the history of religion from my mother. She's a worldwide authority on the history of satanic cults. The terrible thing is that I don't remember a single thing I learned in all those years in the university, except what was in the books you sent me in the hospital and what my mother has been telling me.
Do you have a partner?
My mother says I had a girlfriend a long time ago. Suzanne. Now I'm single, it seems.
What has she told you about your likes?
This is strange. She told me that I never liked grapes, but the other day I tried one and it was delicious.
Interesting. To what extent are our likes and dislikes conditioned by our memories? By the way, I love grapes. Everything all right at the hospital?
Yes, of course. Thank you for taking care of the bill.
I didn't do it. My money did. Sometimes it gets tired of rotting in the bank. Tell me, John, have you managed to remember anything about your past on your own?
No. Well, sometimes I get small flashes of random images, sounds. It's happened 3 times now. Watching a movie, looking at my hand, seeing a bluebird.
Curious, isn't it? Tell me more. What was it you remembered when you were watching that movie?
It took place in Paris. Suddenly, I saw, I don't know, a sort of antique shop, a girl.
What came to mind when you looked at your hand?
Well, it was actually the scar on my hand. The image of a strange person appeared in my mind. Some kind of priest in a church. He was talking about killing someone. Me.
What happened when you looked at this blue bird?
It perched on the windowsill in the hospital. Suddenly I saw myself with a beard and long hair in a blizzard.
Oh, goodness, John. I haven't even offered you a chair. I'm very sorry for what happened, John. Very sorry. I can't help thinking that it's all my doing.
On the contrary, I've come here to thank you.
And to get some answers, I imagine. What do you want to know?
I want to know who I am.
I'm not God, John. If you want to solve that mystery, go to a church and pray. I can only resolve human dilemmas.
Why did you send those books on satanic cults to me in the hospital?
To help your mother re-educate you, and with an eye to a matter that we had between us. One that we still have.
What connects me to you?
There's a lot, John. You were working for me when you tried to kill yourself. You got too involved in the investigation. You lost your perspective. Lori has the contract, by the way. Ask for her copy on your way out if you want.
What did my investigation consist of?
I hired you to get information about the Order of the Flesh, a satanic cult from the 15th century, in the hope that this would help us trap a present-day killer. My own investigation wasn't going anywhere.
What had you discovered before hiring me?
The Order of the Flesh was founded in 1463 by an ex-priest named Ginés de Orduña.
What was the Order of the Flesh about?
We know very little. They worshipped the devil and combined alchemy with torture in search of God knows what, until the Inquisition began to persecute them.
Did the Inquisition put a stop to the Order of the Flesh?
In 1498, when it seemed like Cardinal Cisneros, the Grand Inquisitor, had them cornered, they disappeared from the map. They evaporated. No one knows how or to where.
What did I find out?
You started doing some research in the archives at the University of Salamanca in Spain, and you found something curious. A missive from the guard Captain Miguel de Somosierra to Cardinal Cisneros, written on the 31st of August, 1501.
What did the letter say?
He stated that on that very morning his troops had traveled to the temple where they suspected the order was meeting, that they went in and interrupted a demonic ritual, that they killed all its members without mercy, and that finally they burned the church, reducing it to rubble and the ashes of satanic cadavers.
The letter didn't say anything else?
Yes, the captain congratulated him for the tip that led them to the temple. Literally, he said, "Thankfully, Your Excellency saw the relationship between the Order of the Flesh and the Holy Cathedral of Our Lady of Paris. That led us to reveal the evil in an apparently holy church."
What relationship is there between Notre Dame and the Order?
That was the next and final step in your investigation. Paris.
What did I find out in Paris?
I don't know. You disappeared there for 15 days. When you finally called, you were very distressed. You told me that you found something very important and that you couldn't tell me over the telephone. So I flew to Paris.
Why didn't I tell you what I found out?
Because when I arrived at your hotel, you had attempted suicide. You were dying. You had swallowed mercury. Plus, you had cut your hand, drawing the symbol of the Order of the Flesh on your skin. It looked like a Y.
How did you know it was a suicide?
You left a note. Forgive me, Henry, but to get to the bottom of this, first I must die.
Tell me about this killer.
He's been killing hobos for years. First he only burned them, but then his modus operandi evolved.
How did the hobo killer evolve?
He stopped burning his victims and started torturing them using satanic rituals.
What led you to link him to this cult?
At a certain point, he started carving a sort of Y into the bodies of his victims, the symbol of the Order of the Flesh.
Why are you so interested in capturing him?
For a time, I worked as a volunteer in an NGO called the Children of Don Quixote. They help the homeless. Over the years, I stopped working with them because there's something that can help them more than I can. My money. It's been covering all their expenses since my parents died and I took over White Enterprises. I'm not going to allow anyone to keep attacking these people, John. And you're going to help me.
Why did you hire me?
I hired your mother first, John, but after a while she came to a dead end. I didn't know where to go from there. She said that if anyone could get further, it would be you. Now you know everything, John. Talk to Laurie.
Have her give you your tickets.
What tickets?
Ah, did I forget to mention that? You're leaving for Paris this afternoon. That's okay with you, right?
Yeah, Henry. I need to know who I am.
Exactly, John. Your father would be proud of you.
He just went in.
You're sure the suite does not bring back any memories, Monsieur Yesterday?
No, I'm sorry.
Dommage. Well, call me if you need anything at all. Dinner with adult entertainment. You get my drift? Blonde, brunette, bald, black, white, young, oldies, sex pots, fat ladies, dwarves, hussies, spinsters, natural, surgically enhanced, clean, or filthy. And 10% discount if I get to watch. Okay?
Thank you, Albert. I'll keep it in mind.
Hello, son. Have you arrived? Have you had dinner? How is the flight? Have you remembered anything?
The trip was oddly uncomfortable. Mr. White had reserved the entire first-class section for me, and I had 2 flight attendants hovering over me the whole time. It was impossible to get any reading done. Guess what? On the plane, they offered me grapes for dessert.
And?
I tried them, Mom. They were delicious.
How strange. When you were a little boy, you used to spit them in my face. But I'm glad you finally come to like them, son. You've never eaten enough fruit.
I don't get it. Why did I try to kill myself in this hotel?
I don't know, son. You got too emotionally involved, or maybe you found out something that upset you. This time, keep your distance, okay?
John, how are you doing?
Fine, Mr. White.
Henry. To you, I'm just Henry.
Yes, Henry, pardon me. The hotel is really over the top, Henry. Thank you.
Over the top? You'll never change, John. That's exactly what you said to me the last time.
The front desk clerk is a little odd, don't you think?
I don't remember him. I'll have him fired, all right?
No, don't do that. It's really nothing.
Better. We all have a right to make a living.
When I was in New York, you mentioned my father. Did you ever meet him?
Excuse me, John. What do you have for me, Cooper?
A woman of about 50, passed out, drunk.
In one piece?
Almost.
Take her to the generator room. I want her awake and calm. Call me when she's ready. Excuse me, John. Where were we? Ah, yes. Dementia is a very hard thing. But let's not talk about that, okay?
What do you know about my suicide attempt?
Nothing. Well, that Mr. White found you and he took you to a hospital in some kind of private ambulance. He made sure no one was the wiser. We don't want any scandals here.
Did I have any visitors?
Not a single one, Monsieur, yesterday. I'm sorry to say that your behavior was very boring, despite the fact that I dropped the price of my very best girls as much as 20%. Have you had a change of heart?
No, thank you.
25%? 30?
Who's been in the room since my previous visit?
Only Mr. White, the maid, Matthew from maintenance, and me, but not a single guest. Someone has to clean the room, even if there are no guests, sir. By the way, if you're interested in her, be in the room tomorrow when she comes to clean it. She's new and frisky. Free fan dance on the first visit. I just went to leave a small welcome gift on the terrace a little while ago, monsieur. The maid noticed that the extractor fan in the bathroom was not working, so I sent Matthew to fix it. Mr. White came to the hotel because you called him. He went up to the room, and that was when he found you half dead.
Is this hotel named after Gustave Doré, the artist?
Mais non, it's named after, another Doré, who's also an artist in his own way. The funny thing is that he's a great-great-grandson of the original Doré. Your secret is safe with me, Monsieur Yesterday. I'll keep it from anyone who doesn't say these 2 words, including if it is you.
It's very strange, Mom. I've stopped remembering things since I met Mr. White. On my last visit, I stored something using a password that I can't remember now. Any ideas what it is?
I don't know, son. Frank for your father, maybe. Elaine for me. Suzanne for that girlfriend you had. Or perhaps something having to do with Satanism? I don't know.
Mom, I don't think I tried to kill myself.
What are you saying, son?
It might have been an accident. Imagine that I broke a thermometer and that the mercury fell into a glass and then I drank from it without noticing and...
John, you don't have to reassure me. I know that nothing will happen this time. I trust you. You're intelligent and strong.
What really happened to my father? Was he crazy?
Son, I would have preferred for you not to find out. I told you that your father died in the tragedy at Cadway Station, but that's not what really happened. As I've told you, your father was the world's leading expert on satanic sects. The best. He was my thesis director. That's how we met. It's true that your father was in Cadway when the station caved in, but he survived. And he stayed there, living in its ruins. I begged him to come back home, but it was no use. He said that the station was the only place he felt safe. After the collapse, your father was traumatized. He said that he was being persecuted by a satanic sect called the Unmentionable Ones. The last time I went to see him, I tried everything, but he didn't want to leave. He called me a heretic, and he disappeared without a trace. Frank yesterday was a great man, John. A true scholar, a good husband, and the best of fathers. He loved you very much, John. Just don't make the same mistakes he did.
I'm starting to remember things, Henry.
Congratulations. I knew that this trip would help you. I just knew it.
I didn't try to kill myself, Henry. Someone forced me to swallow the mercury.
What are you saying? I'll send a bodyguard. I'll call Lori. I'm sure we have someone in Paris. Don't leave the hotel. Someone will come for you.
The last time I was in the hotel, I hid something.
Interesting. What could it be? Well, call me if you find it. Remember that anything you turn up, no matter how minor, can help us save lives.
I know that you have an envelope for me.
Of course, Monsieur Yesterday. But as per your instructions, you have to say 2 words before I can give it to you. Dommage. You're not getting any closer.
Give me the envelope, Albert. Revolution, alchemy.
We're getting back our memory, huh? I'll bring it right up. Here you go, Monsieur Yesterday.
Thanks a lot, Albert.
Their photos? Huh? Pretty photos. Naked, dirty, trashy, fifi, lascivious. If you don't have a buyer, I can find you one. 10% discount if I can
Good
watch
night,
you.
Albert.
Oh, I see. That bulge must be some kind of toy. I'll leave you alone. Pervert.
Did I ever tell you what I wanted the contents of the envelope for?
There's no need to, Monsieur Yesterday. But when you're finished with it, I'll buy it off you. 20% extra if it's clean.
Do the words "The Evergreen 1852" mean anything to you?
Of course, it's the name of a legendary chess match. Anderson moves the knight to e7 and defeats Dufresne in 24 moves.
I'm John Yesterday, a specialist in satanic sects. I'm John Yesterday, a specialist in satanic sects.
Thanks for the information, Mr. Yesterday. See that door? Use it to go back where you came from.
I need to find out some things about the relationship between Notre Dame Cathedral and alchemy, and Mr. Petit is one of the few people to have researched this topic.
Find out for yourself. Mr. Petit isn't available.
Have you heard of the Inquisitor, a serial killer who's targeting panhandlers in New York? I believe Mr. Petit can help me find him.
First, you'll have to find Mr. Petit, and I doubt very much that you'll be able to do that.
If you could just tell me where he is.
In hell, Mr. Yesterday. My father committed suicide 2 months ago. Go and look for him there.
I'm so sorry. How clumsy of me. Very clumsy. Sorry. Is there any way I can make it up to you? Can I buy you a cup of coffee?
I should say no.
Was I that bad?
That's not it. But I don't think I'm going to flatter your male ego by saying otherwise. I don't kiss up to people.
Are you afraid? Of what?
Of you, John. These months have brought a little peace to my shitty little world. Now you'll be leaving. I'm in no position to lose any more male figures in my life.
Hey, it's not the first time we've done this.
Don't be an idiot. I'm talking about my father's diary.
You never told me your father kept a diary.
I don't confide in just anyone. It's full of notes about alchemy, Notre Dame, a satanic sect. Right up your alley. I'll give it to you tomorrow, and then there'll be nothing left to keep you here.
The diary opened my eyes, Pauline. I have to go to a mental hospital in New York.
You're leaving.
Come with me. I'll get my things from the hotel. You get the diary. We'll meet back at the airport, okay?
I should say no. I know what you're here for. You must know where you left it. Take the diary and get out of here.
I can't remember where the diary is.
It's comforting to know that I'm not the only thing you've forgotten, John. But I won't make the same mistake twice. You've got exactly 2 hours to look for the diary in the back room, and then you're out of here. You can go fuck yourself and leave me in peace. I don't have to put up with this crap.
And it is told that Don Gines de Orduña, a priest, poured mercury from his right hand, sulfur from his left hand, sprinkled salt on top, and lit a fire underneath that blazed white hot like the depths of hell.
Good morning.
At last, a polite young man. Don't you agree, Walter?
Are you in Paris on vacation?
Exactly, dear. We're celebrating our undivorce. Walter?
Did you say you just got undivorced?
Exactly. We'd been divorced for just 6 months when Walter had a heart attack. He changed completely, became a totally different person. So I said, "Do you want to get undivorced?" And he said,
So you two can't remember why you divorced?
"I don't know. Well, we used to fight a lot. Remember how you always used to contradict me, Walter? I know it's hard to tell these things from the outside, but I can assure you that everything's different now.
I'm happy to hear that you've reconciled.
Life gave us another chance, dear. And I swear on my guardian angel that we're going to make the most of it.
Is Walter okay? No after effects?
Just the opposite, dear. He's much better like this. Isn't that right, Walter?
Is it your first time in Paris?
Our very first. We've been wanting to come here all our lives. But things got in the way. Kids, work, and then, well, the divorce.
Good morning. Do we know each other?
Absolutely. Since about 5 seconds ago, my friend. Marcel Richard, draftsman at your service.
Do you like antiques, Marcel?
No, to tell the truth, I am hiding from my creditors. If you see a short blonde man who looks like money come in, you let me know.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about alchemy by any chance?
Absolutely. Mix vodka with lemon, whiskey with soda, or rum with pineapple juice. None of these transforms metal into gold, but they do something better. They transform women into goddesses.
I'm looking for a diary. It's supposed to be in the back room, but if you should run across it here...
I shall make it my personal quest, my friend. If I have to kill someone to get your diary, I'll do it.
The secret is on the facade. I know it's there somewhere. For the master alchemist, everything is made up of these few elements. The order of the flesh and its unknown carnal work must also be based on them.
I don't understand what you mean about doing it for your father.
I saw the same excitement in you that I saw in him. Notre Dame, alchemy, the order of the flesh. You're both after the same thing.
What are you afraid of?
The same thing will happen to you as to him. He took his own life, John. I don't know if it was the investigation or what, but he took his own life.
What was your father like?
My father was a good man. He was quiet, affectionate, solitary. He hardly left the house after my mother died.
Did your father share his hobby with anyone? A friend, for example?
When I was a little girl, yes. A strange man. He went by the name of Choke, I think. He became stranger and stranger as time went by. One day he disappeared and never came back.
Do you know why you... No, never mind. Excuse me.
Why my father committed suicide? No. He'd spent the entire day with an American collector. They made some good deals. The man was going to pay us a lot of money. We were going to restore the store, travel. When I woke up the next morning, he had hanged himself.
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
Ah? No? And if I tell you I have pétanque balls between my legs?
The girl at the counter won't give me the time of day.
Well, don't try anything with me, my friend, under no circumstances.
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
And you don't seem like the stereotypical American. You haven't shot me yet.
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
I am too handsome, I know.
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
I'm more like the stereotypical Mandingo, if you catch my drift.
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
Are you insinuating that I seem straight?
You don't seem like the typical Frenchman.
I look Spanish, I know. I should really do something about my breath.
And it is told that Don Gines de Orduña, a priest, poured mercury from his right hand, sulfur from his left hand, sprinkled salt on top, and lit a fire underneath that blazed white hot like the depths of hell.
Hey, scumbag. You disgust me. You smell like shit because you're a scumbag. Huh, you little scumbag? But I'm gonna leave you looking like a princess. Anyone ever give you a manicure?
I've found him, Cooper.
Henry? Who?
Boris. He's been in Happy Dale, a mental hospital about an hour from here for the past 2 years.
Should we go after him? He knows too much.
Toothpick. No, he's totally round the bend. No one pays any attention to his delusions. I'm sure our friend would like to have a long chat with him, don't you?
What if it wasn't his fault?
That's nonsense. But it would be so comforting. If I could blame someone, if I had that person in front of me, I swear I don't know what I'd do.
I love you, Pauline.
Thanks. I would love to be able to say the same, but I've got so much terrible shit going on inside of me, John.
Trust me. I'll take care of you.
Don't fuck with me, John. My mother left. My father left. And you'll end up leaving too in the end. amnesia.
I was poisoned with mercury. Some things I don't know, but I do have some answers, thanks to your father's diary. Henry White is...
Henry White will be most pleased to learn this. The diary. I killed the girl just like I killed her father.
Oh my god!
Hands up. Get out, you bastard. Get out, or I'll make you drink mercury again after I finish off the girl. Out!
Master. Tell me who I...
You are late. Did you find what you are seeking?
I'm not seeking it anymore. I don't even remember what it was.
Ah, your memory. And now, what are you seeking?
Your teachings.
You already have them.
But... and swordsmanship?
You are not ready.
And the unknown sense?
You are not ready.
When will I be?
Bring me a truth flower.
And you'll teach me to use the unknown sense?
Bring me a truth flower.
Why can't I hold the katana, Master?
Pick it up.
Can I take it with me?
If you take it out of this room, I'll replace the yak's skull with yours.
What is the unknown sense, Master?
In reality, it is nothing more than knowing how to fight in the dark. But I thought it would sound more mystical if I called it unknown sense. Am I right?
What is the truth flower?
An ordinary flower from an ordinary bush. But, basically, and where you're concerned, it's an ordinary mindfuck to test you.
I believe there is a truth flower on a nearby peak on top of a nest.
That's true. But unless you learn to fly, you're going to have a hard time. Think, young disciple.
Why do you want me to bring you a truth flower and not something else?
Because that will demonstrate that you have the wisdom, the patience, and the perseverance required to learn control of the unknown sense.
I understand.
Bah! Do you know what it is? We masters like to feel like gods. And gods like to pose arbitrary challenges. Don't eat this apple. Don't work on Saturday. Don't touch yourself there.
What are we having for dinner today?
Zampa,
What will we have for dinner tomorrow?
Zampa,
What will we have for dinner the day after tomorrow?
Zampa.
Shall we play?
Let's play. Seven, you could be bluffing, but I say 5. Let's take a look. No winner. What a pity.
Why can't I take the katana out of this room, Master?
Because you don't know how to use it. I want you to become familiar with its weight. But without you going farther than I can smell you.
When will you show me how to fight with the katana?
When you're ready.
And when will I be ready to learn sword fighting?
When I say so, young disciple.
The swords of the great masters always have a story behind them. What's your story?
I will tell you in due time.
Why is there always incense in the burner on the porch?
Because its aroma penetrates the soul. It shows us our inner self and helps us become one with the universe.
I understand.
I love pulling your leg, young disciple.
Shall we play?
Let's play. Eh? You could be bluffing, but I say two. Let's take a look. No winner. What a pity.
Shall we play?
Let's play. Three, you could be bluffing, but I say eight. Let's take a look. Did you win? That's enough. Pick one of my treasures. That's what you want. It's yours.
Master, is it true that you defeated the dragon yak?
As true as it is that I never spare the life of anyone who doubts it.
Shall we play?
Let's play. Four, you could be bluffing, but I say nine. Let's take a look. Did you win? That's enough. Pick one of my treasures. That's what you want. It's yours.
Why can't I wear my own clothes while I'm here?
Because the clothes I provided will help you to be humble around me.
Shall we play?
Let's play. Five? You could be bluffing, but I say 9. Let's take a look. Did you win? The last of my treasures is yours. You have shown that you possess the ingenuity that I suspected you had. And in doing so, you have earned the right to learn the art of sword fighting. I will teach you to clean it, parry, block, attack, disarm, and forgive.
Eh?
I'm gonna go to New York, and I'll talk with Boris. I need to do this. Take everything your father gathered about alchemy, and you head to Scotland. We'll meet up at Inverness Airport, and we'll find St. Fergus Church together. You got that?
I just can't say no.
Trust me. Pauline,
Yes?
there is one little thing that I haven't told you yet.
What?
I love you.